Depression, anxiety and stress among female and male police officers. Stress, anxiety, and depression are widespread psychological problems of working persons. These are the most commonly diagnosed illnesses in psychology. Much consideration is given to these areas as the prevalence of these syndromes is increasing. Several studies have associated these syndromes to numerous negative outcomes in the workplace, such as decreased performance and satisfaction. The outcomes of depression, anxiety and stress are also associated with negative outcomes in other aspects of life, including general satisfaction, quality of life, and social interactions. Researchers have proposed that all populations, and particularly employees, are being affected by the aforesaid disturbances in epidemic proportions. Researchers have suggested that each of these syndromes can be associated with decreased performance on the job, decreased satisfaction in the work environment, and poor interpersonal skills, which contribute to poor customer service, increased intention to leave, and impaired peer relations in the workplace. Traditionally, it was believed that stress, anxiety, and depression were separate constructs with varying etiologies and symptoms. However, the high comorbidity rates, especially between anxiety and depression, have gained interest and attention throughout the field. Some associations are also developed between stress and depression. The development of more complex stress models has, however, provided support for a relationship between the syndromes. Police officers perform jobs that are recognized as suffering from high levels of stress by performing tasks that are both physically and emotionally demanding. Stress in police officers and other law enforcement personnel is an inspiring area for the researchers. Law enforcement is constantly identified as one of the most stressful occupations. Police work is generally regarded as a highly stressful occupation. Policing is considered as the most psychologically dangerous profession worldwide. Police officers are frequently exposed to various traumatic situations ranging from threats to themselves and their colleagues, to witnessing riots, injuries or death of citizens, bombings, shootings, criminal activities, and often fatal shootings of perpetrators. They are required to operate in situations of conflict, apprehend violent criminals, and face hostile members of the public and deal with the inevitable political pressures of public life. Studies have linked various stressors of police work to psychological distress, depression, anxiety, alcoholism, burnout, cardiac disorders, and suicide, as well as family and marital problems. Many theories are proposed to clarify the variations in stress effects between men and women, some of which include gender socialization and gender roles, tokenism, family status and children, workloads, social support, or self-reported variations. Moreover, environmental and demographic factors of work can also have an important effect on stress, such as justice, social capital, work-life balance, traumatic events, age, experience, and race. The previous studied into the gender differences on the effects of stress have found different results ranging from no gender differences to higher stress levels in females. These variations are partially derived from many different methodologies and measuring techniques used across the disciplines who inquire into this problem, including economics, industrial relations, management, medicine, social psychology, and sociology. It is, nevertheless, suggested that female officers may face additional stress factors than those experienced by their male colleagues. Desmarais and Oxness suggest 3 different ways in which the factor of gender varies with relation to occupational stress. Firstly, males and females may experience different stressors or different levels of the same stressor from the same single event. Secondly, the reaction of males and females to the event can vary greatly so that each gender experiences a different level of stress from the event. Finally, the stressor-strain relationship observed for males and females may differ, or that gender may act as a moderator such that it affects one gender and not the other. McCarty and colleagues are of opinion that satisfactory attention is not applied to gender differences within stress and burnout research of police officers. On the other hand, he and collaborators examined police officers and did report some gender variations. They claim 3 initial findings. Firstly, female officers had higher levels of stress than males. Secondly, white males had higher stress levels than black males. And finally, there were no significant stress differences between white and black female officers. Violanti and colleagues studied 105 male and female police officers and reported that depressive symptoms were higher among females than male officers. A study conducted by Dr. Sukoon involved male and female police officers of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. The results of that study revealed that the female police officers projected higher levels of depression, anxiety and stress as compared to male police officers. Female officers may still be exposed to supplementary gender-specific stressors in being treated differently both by their organization and by male colleagues. A gender connection is also noted in other occupational groups, with higher levels of reported strain noted in female civil servants in the Whitehall II study. Martin and Jurek are of the view that men are typically accustomed to dominating women and habitually do not regard them as figures of authority, while women conversely are not habitual in exercising authority over men. Within the police service, women are often regarded as inadequate officers and are often regarded as a liability in dangerous situations. Thanks for listening. To read the entire paper, kindly visit www.drsakoon.info.